Akwaboah biem efa emra betwam twumedi so wo Adom TV wo share live wo Facebook YouTube SAS na hwe multi TV channel so DSTV Go TV so obenye live and so all metimi ahwe efa na sekese koma Professor Enokwasi Wolanyo Wallace so dia gode mu nsem ebre no chi na Sandra Akapo ene anochi wabatena se ede ahosepejmede eto asmena fe amankwa tamakilometers ede ewie efise free sabre kwapinsa na nkono ebebomedin de akwasi insian pensempensemu ebre enie yabebedi nkobo ade ahwe Ghana nkanko ene mpuntu ene nkobo kese babedi ede fa infidi nyuma ho aban ede esine ne so betimi ahwe aboase ne be ya infidi nyuma ebetimi aptumpon ewo yemamu na eniema odo ayekra ede free amonone eba yemamu no yetimi hwan so besa wo muchemu agienum 50%. Na aban ehwe ne mu se enema beti se emo anwa poultry fish ni nyina betimi ahwias na yetimi ni nyina wo ye man emu awboa no etesei panipa oda wona ye mfirima ano wo Ghana ebetrase ne no atwe ekmefara sekese enkoma Hyperplex mixture papa ba na abadwa so eboase ne be ya entidi yade ebetu ase kra de fie ni padwam uye no so eto enchen so betimi aboase ne be ya ho ne be ni padwam mu na yade be ni padwam bi betimi edisu enkudim Hyperplex mixture and Ghana be eton do bia no okwa osa ebeka bi atom so hospital Dr. Nyase ase agitum se malaria na aba so a edura mekafo ede ama ho eye Hyperplex mixture isase no ene papapa Franco Trading Enterprises so ene be kese phone papapa na josu ene wona phone kwa na mo etom owo air condition owo fridge owo TV owo fan ale bi edi se de madam ya kono ye kama bia dem Franco Trading Enterprise ko makachi a sabeka bi ato omne babo so ewo fom papa bi okomu che bia bedi wada se e de achew ese okaba bia edema se ne mabo ewo fom pa eye Franco Trading Enterprise shobo ewo crime na fe kumasi betu yesam yese kama yenu beto so a eye Kel Chaco toothpaste eno na di HS medical catch da se e kanitete no na ye de bidie no agu body tresom ne na nanu na ema me de atwi yesia ko se be ye fita ne yesi so tetewa nyina e de afrodom ene sa bidie kro na ene ye de aye toothpaste ne bom ukwa bonte so e fe de Kel Chaco toothpaste isa se na papa amanfo ajetum no obi aka se ampa paste we de se anka ma amanfo edi emia to fatwu se fatwu mofra so ese emomu yon kwada de ho yon penifon so edi ho supermarket bia be ko bia so pe Kel Chaco toothpaste ato o meton bi amane bo so elfom ye pa me iso ko hospital doctor catch say o moja so ate ohia mojadura eye city blood tonic na ohia city blood tonic na ohia na etimi aboase na be ya o moja na eso ate ama potokase kase waye anemic no obetimi etu ase kura obi onom city blood tonic be ya be catch say onumu a wonna emroso onye kese so emroso ne bo aboa kura bo ni padua no ehhehye ye kama o skin color kura etoso na nyina city blood tonic nwenu ani hondu ade ayenti ene boa ma bibia wi payo edema ba ba bia to do bia no okwa ansabeka bi ato o san beko na so yasene emiade mpensempensem dwumadie eto aso ede ama one anope very good morning enko emfa ema opike goso boko de awia anope so meda asepa nyame chiram ene wo ye edema oh my Ghana happy birthday so enko fama Nina formerly of TV3 ene your birthday efim na busuye nyina we ka se nyame enhyira onye okese na kopenso be ye kese pa nyame enhyira no onye okese pa happy 19th wedding anniversary so enkoma chairman Kwame Sefakai wareye ene 19 good years waya de opim edeko wedding ti chairman happy wedding anniversary enko efnyankopon ko so enhyira waware so na enkoso enimu na enye disuade efma ofro ya yedi echiti once again happy wedding anniversary to Chairman General Kwame Sefakai of Peace FM abra so babedi enkomo aye babedi nyina efa kwan ya Ghana ebefa so a enema ye kra edi free amono ne ba ye memu no ye bete so anampo ye betu ase kra isa se ne edikan abaya kamiati asese afibia Ghana spending about 10 billion US dollars 10 billion US dollars ane yɛde ekra nneɛma de free amonone eba yeman emu aban pese yete so by 2023 bese 50%. Already aban ka kire say 45% of nneɛma ye ne mem no etimi eso Ghana adehye eso. Eti this year the best 5% na eka ho se ne betimi aboa na nneɛma do ekra de free amonone ba de bia da ma ye sidi ho eye den. De bia ma dollar no epu no e oye mem no ano betimi abrase ye pa etini ma beti se emo anwa poultry product fish cement enima odo a ekeka ho no eye niema Ghana ebetimi aye e oye man mu eti ehu hia se beto akoso ama amanfo akọ amono ne akokra bebre e de aba obere fish yi ni a hye ne puduo abetwie e de gu o man mu obehwe na eye force enkukoyi ya behwie ne bebre e de begu ye mamu enso ye wonkoko e wo Ghana ye betimi aso ne so ama ye to na board so ama amanfo anya bi ato ne ye bi se na no pe eye se wona wo manufacturing sector e wo Ghana hanum no wa hoboa no ewie peyo for this 50% cut challenge of import e wo ye mamu ana. So no kwese aban 50% cut no ye ka se de ye adwuma when ye production ye mem no ebetimi ameti the demand of that 50% no omo siesie no ambo no adwuma no mo ye no emu atre akwakosi say especially for the poultry industry. Poultry no ya omo eye no nipa say na wo Ghana ebetimi ato omo nkukọ ne bi awe December na ye ton enkukọ 170 Ghana cedis. Ebi kura ton mo de as high as 200 Ghana cedis. Ebi ton 150 Ghana cedis. Ebi ton 100 Ghana cedis. Ebi 80, 70 Ghana cedis. Nipa dodo say na betimi ate say skedi akoto sa enkuku we awe. So when na ye poultry awo ye mem no wa ho boa no akọwie say ombetimi aye sena ne ye force de no ye de fra mo ne eba no otikura kakra bia betimi kakra bia betimi akwakọ ye wonkwan anampo u still be away so betimi ya be 10 Ghana cedis ye betimi ya be 20 Ghana cedis ye ye betimi atwa kakra e de amount omo challenge ba ko ye special poultry industry no ewo eye feed enuane ene enuane bo na aye dinti ama enkokọ bo aye de no aban hihye be na gu akwam to make sure say feed na de ma poultry nkokọ no ne buo betimi aba from se na be yankokọ buo no enkoso enyina 170 150 Ghana cedis emfa ma amanfo because no kra wo me ye say ye koso eye ne saa ne to no ebe ye din e de ama amanfo 50% na ye say ye de free amonone e de aba no eno enam so bi ma sa eno so bo no empeja emfa nkosoro ana because one and so be kuta 20 Ghana cedis and 30 Ghana cedis obetimi bia be say 1 kilo of akukwa and because be 50% pe no mo de ebent na be demand na bi akosoro when omantimi akwagoto ye local poultry na se demand no ekosoro it means say ne bo no be peja e de akosoro yewura 2023 na aban ne sa nhye we eye adwuma aban any poultry farmers association no engagement no etesen yenti ampaso betimi amiti that 50% cut na aban ede ema wo mu no enhye be na aban ede gu akwam se de be yo mo niema bo no betimi aba from ede amaye then rice emodudu se na yedua na yeman mu na ye kasai emodudu se na yedua so emuna yedua no emiti the standard na yatra siama sebi abrofo de na betre Ghana fo sena na Ghana fo aye well prepared say ye bejai kosi broni de ne fra no eba na efi se atete kremase no ato nchen abeto ye local rice na quality no etesen die ne ye di ama rice farmers ne sena bi at least so man timbokra enu abrofo no standard na ombetimi abe ho kakra na nkonkwa ese ye di amememfi na ekwakoto local rice because yes ye ni local rice si ekosu eye ne sad omo amudua local rice e wo yeman mu no me pa cho wo omo ahobua to meet that demand no anything one eye local rice no how prepared are they to inject enough capital omadwuma mu eyem se be ya ometimi up omu game because there be aseba ko eta eka eye se wo hwe ye rice industry na sikana ewom no ewo fam epelfu eka wasem de bia eka sikana ewom no ewo fam enoti ama standard na o se to da bia o se kokodu nti no etimi enkokodu woko amana na ko ebia Vietnam ani miamia odro na yetaye saa rice bebre ya enye baakofo na eye saa emo adwuman but obepiem ewo yamam hanom a wona eye rice adwuma no epese koye baakofo na eye tirisika no eye kuma bi ene kitado etu otimi nyan sene obetim dia meet standard na abrofo no ede Asia yen ene ya aban ede ato akwam si yenya mu o na mo produce be 50% o yamam no so oma ho boa wa ho siesie no ete sei oil enso de ewom cement de ye de dada ewo man mu jata wom gasem wom other cement manufacturing companies enso ewom ye betimi ana 2023 cutting down 50% of our import. CEO Edma Association of Ghana Industries eyopani Seth Twum Akwaboah abekawensa akrofishapa
afin comment ye
boko de
na mi Adom na won so e
ye de ya mi ase
good
Seth Twum Akwaboah nyini da
na mi na ye
you to say
na mi Adom minua
ye de ya mi ase 2022 ko say AGI
2022 ho asem kan ye bebre
okay
se ne enim no if 2020 no nsem na ehihia na enim se nema ekofo mama yen kakra after 2020 covid ni ade no 2021 no man so kakra
okay
after 2022 ne start ya pe na Russia Ukraine war beef baby na bebo yasum na nema nyina ya basa see the new depreciate very fast na inflation cost ro na fuel prices cost of production very high. Until 2022 was a tough year.
Okay.
It got to a point people were losing hope. But the Namias say do latter part pa no so no not face the no so again weight.
Okay.
Na fear many pa confidence no ever back.
We are then able to maneuver our way out of these challenges about 2022.
Say industries there, businesses, they are always very creative. One, you think of survivor first, and then you think of growth. Okay. You do me be a growth, not the ton kakra.
Okay.
Expansion, what the ton chain. What to think of a survivor? What do I do to keep my workers? What do I do to keep my suppliers? What do I do to keep my customers? Survivor ni here pa. Into do me be a hochena basana. Now you cut off growth. So really people don't industry don't grow. They don't employ more people. They don't expand. Okay. They reduce their cost to be able to stay afloat. Okay. And only at their back one and omo the used to be an all year now so no share coin or fast or on the customers near the be negotiate. That's a price adjustment kakra no aye so that they can stay in business. Yeah. No ne workers and so kasa more agitative for higher wages near there. So more money situation no. Yeah. You too many if you say your cost no cost ro. Yeah intimi so emfa price no to so much. Inti no mo ye nema bebre no ma survive. Na the chrome ni say a basa na growth there forget it. Nemum no survivor and sustaining the business is most critical, and that's what they did to survive. So from COVID era, ABC, Russia, Ukraine, yeah, and expansion of businesses in Ghana. Not significantly, especially manufacturing side. Okay, businesses there, so businesses would operate because at the end of the produce, as imported. But there are implications, and they have different paradigms for the economic development. To where because no money they need to consume. Sure. Now who consume no, and find fiber. So who produce more? Let's say if you have it creates more jobs. Yeah. It adds more to your taxes. It creates opportunity for you to also expand any other. Name no say import currency. Stabilize currency. So I'm saying at the end no. Enti name man the obeco market ube obeto. nemu no hifa ne fi ana ehua pa
okay
enti no se ekoba se yeah businesses no de edia bi bewu ho kakra ne ade but you see say there will be some indicators we show manufacturing say ya be say growth has become stunted. We are not growing.
Okay.
If you look at the past 9 years or so, growth rate in manufacturing is just around 4%. That's not good enough. Yes, if you really want to grow your economy, to say manufacturing, the number of population people are warm every year, number of students come back from your tertiary institutions,
100,000,
over 200,000 to 300,000 annually. If you take all the tertiary institutions, all the institutions together.
Yeah.
That's a growth in manufacturing is hovering around 4% for the past 9 years. There's something wrong. Intino, and only a DSC, na growth no ba, na catch up. Intino, businesses there, nipa and manufacturers now, so no. They are also business people. They must protect their capital. It is a do conditions na not very good for manufacturing. Because a normal switch kakra, normal other things to survive. Okay. You know, but that shouldn't be. A certain committee concentrated on more, no more expanding honum. As they expand the scope, they employ more people. Now, you know, they are very competitive. Now, they export even beyond our borders. They call that country. How will grow economy? And to where you have a stunted growth, business people will try and survive, but they will do other things other than the core business. Na person come here, beboa man input on the power.
Okay. Share from COVID era to Russia-Ukraine war. Job losses be manufacturing sector.
Oh, I know the Basa, especially COVID era, no.
Okay.
Most of the manufacturers they were really struggling. And you know,
okay.
There must always be growth in jobs because population, you know, it hasn't stopped. We are always giving birth to more people. More people are coming from the universities. Enter into the working age.
Yeah.
And you know, there must always be growth. So even when you have not downsized, the fact that you are not growing is problematic.
Okay.
You must always grow.
Okay.
And you know, if you are not growing, it's a problem. Downsizing, not so much because companies try to keep their workers, you know, because sometimes, you know, I know some doing said these are people who have families and letting them go home and not that easy.
Yeah.
But what they also do is they also have a lot of casual workers. Occasionally, if the business is good. Casual workers, they are not employees on their payroll near day. Say they may not have reduced their number of staff. But then taking the casuals, you know, rather goes down. But those one, the data there may not be that supportive of any statistics or analysis. And you know, because after all, industries may be reduce your numbers into okay, it's still not okay because when they take on the casual workers work for a long while, then become sustainable. Then they recruit them into the mainstream. Into one show you, we bet me remain casual and apam no akofi aduma yes be kakra no. That's not job. That's not sustainable job. And you know what you want to see is say, or your casual worker cry, or your jumana for a while. Na fe no employer na kase why juma na che nti say no there some do ba mainstream. Na fe na otua ne snake tax. Bi nema bibre na nyese okwa na by day bi ne ama okakra.
Okay.
No say na dey anything no. Nti no the worry na yenya ne say growth now is not growing that fast.
Okay.
The job creation also is not that fast, especially in the manufacturing and industrial sector. It's a problem. And you know, there be a complaints in need jobs.
Yeah.
But we need to grow the manufacturing sector to absorb the teeming number of youth in balance.
Before I call the main topic for discussion is on the role of AGI in reducing import. Obi say during the pandemic era, na microphone be share import such as we import. Konyesa no muntimi survive.
Oh, I know the individual mean can say yes or no, but the minimum say so be I investing.
Yeah.
But be a borrow sika bebre and that's no one is sweat capital, sweat equity or their similar investment no producer. That's to be behind your okay. Why would you go behind somebody and go and import to come and compete with yourself?
Sure.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It's not rational thinking. Because every investor wants to see the growth of his business and even invest more. Plow back the profit they make and expand and all that. It be our manufacturing plant or and some of them are doing it. It'll be our plant or her. Or person can establish a big crowd Kumasi.
Okay.
Or they serve the northern sector.
Okay.
You want to go to the north and serve the northern sector. And I say another part of the country.
Yeah.
Beyond that, no person even Accra or expand no to me export to be.
Okay.
So why would you be interested in going to import? It tells you something. That sometimes, you know, it's a bit of survivor.
Okay.
Survivor in the sense, and we sure some of these big manufacturing firms in the crowd, some of them import. I know. Yes, some of them import because your mass system now is so loose. It be a producer a particular product.
Okay.
So product no. Nanka they were the market leaders. Imports now is so easy to do and so cheap to do and so easy to come into the country. And some of them even sometimes maneuver kakra. Duties near the same products no be cheaper. The business ni na down.
Okay.
And they have the franchise. They have the franchise. Into be so mu import some of the products no mu produce no.
Okay.
Be can drinks beer.
Okay.
Instead of no produce bottling one. Okay. No the can one so no kakreba. So because can one no they are no so compete with the bottling one. Yeah. Bottling one be producer. Sure. But can one ya makwama obi import to be. Now it's taking the market. The survive no my kakraka home. Into no they mean rule it out completely. But because conditions for import sometimes are much easier, cheaper. I mean, if you are an importer and no person has access to bank loan, it's so easy. Sometimes even the supplier doesn't take the money up front.
Yeah.
They give you supplier's credit. The goods get here when you are clearing, then you need money to go and pay. And in that case, bank, within 2-3 months, or clear power, cotton, no acquire now. And it's so easy. Even the banks are very interested. Okay. So if you look at the bank's portfolio now, they almost a lot of their loans now then come more for commercial importers in the commercial area instead of manufacturing. Because manufacturing is tough and there's a lot of risk there. Say who produce raw material, crab massing or expect, especially those that are doing agro processing. Maybe I will expect say raw materials may feed various parts of the country whether near basapa, unya the volumes, unya the quantity. Be crying disease. And it might be great. Now, if you want to produce volumes now, your problem amount. Manufacturing is tough. So the point is to answer your question simple. Say, obia or your investor in manufacturing, or be percent can the business need to grow. Okay. No, more of that instead of importing. But conditions be or naja almost for survival. No way kakra. And I won't rule it out. But it's not the norm.
Yes. But here, as a manufacturer, doing business in Ghana, it is a.
I must say, generally speaking, if you compare to several other areas, manufacturing is tough. Doing business in Ghana is tough, even though it is the ultimate in terms of development. Now, ultimately, that's what they should do. There are importers, not me a big time importers, as is some manufacturers. Now, to the beyond homes, manufacturing, tough. But the beyond so, because the thing about manufacturing is, if you work hard, that's a sustainer is the best. Okay. Because you have physical assets. You can bequeath to your family.
Okay.
Until that it becomes a generational business. Yeah. It continues and continues and continues. If you look at some of the international products now, they say Mercedes, Toyota, they're all family businesses. Be over 200 years. So from generation to generation, importation, and tisa, it be something in vogue. Everybody is importing. Everybody can also go import. Yeah. It be sometimes, but be a who import to every crown or supplier. No, one day no be established agency here. Not the bad direct. Okay. China from baby yes apa. Okay. But the man na who develop market no share or who import to baby. Very soon no be established be ha. Not who you with him. But our manufacturing, na say year. And no dear, a sustainable business. And to manufacturing they are the papa. Name na tough. Really tough. Until no near there say it means na conditions no be bro. A bit maka ho asem. I see.
2023 budget year finance minister Ekin Kain in 2022. Our boss say this time year cut your import, especially consumable import, by 50%. Into say your rice, say your oil, vegetable oil, say your fish, say your poultry product. Near Jadiama manufacturers, yeah, must set up business hanum like the poultry industry, one area rice factory near there. Is it possible?
It is possible. Now, a very good and laudable idea.
You beat me. Aye.
You beat me. See, area you beat me. And not that difficult. When you say 50%, it's not a big deal. As a matter of fact, some of the products on crowd there, you have over 100% capacity. There are some products we have excess capacity, yes. Yes. Like the oils. All you produce, 2 companies per.
Okay.
2 companies per. Capacity, no. When you put the 2 companies together, their total capacity is twice the demand or the consumption of the country.
Wow.
So they really have to export to stay in business. I'm telling you. Because the capacity, one of them produces about 300,000 metric tons. Another does about 150 or so. The total consumption in Ghana is about 200 and something.
Annually.
Intino social power. And you say what the ban at here, we can produce enough. The only thing is raw materials, and the good thing is when you pick some of these products, it's very interesting. Say, oh, yeah, analysis now. If we take the oil, say, and then now the producer, so fried tony, I didn't produce one. Yeah, the crude oil, and I say, we are. Yeah. Then we know, the total and why your country, you're putting in together, as raw materials, as crude oil for the fried oil production. It only constitutes 30% of their demand. Yes, and it means whatever oil you produce, there's an off-taker.
Okay.
There's an off-taker. Intino so kase o producing nyina o manyimu. You can imagine say ebema palm oil producers no so akosro because there's a demand for it.
For it, yeah.
For it. Otherwise they always have to import. They have to import the raw crude before they process. So if you look at the value chain, it's very good and it's long. So every aspect of the chain, somebody can do something and we can make more business. Okay. That's a typical example. If you take something like, and I'll go very low, basic things like cutlasses and machetes. Yeah. There's just one company in Ghana be producing. Volumes, currently they are doing just about 40% of their capacity. They can saturate the whole market in Ghana. In that capacity now, let's take the cables. 3 companies and they produce cables in this country.
Electrical cables.
Electrical cables. Okay. These 3 companies, I can tell you, when you put their capacity together, and the capacity is not what they are producing now. What they are producing now is what their current production volumes are. Okay. But the capacity is the potential. Yeah. Say, Obetimi expand. Even without expanding the factory, all you do is to run shifts, get more raw materials if the market is there. They can easily produce in volumes. Now, these 3 companies, they all have ISO certification. Okay. It means that their products can go anywhere in the world.
It meets international standards.
International standards. Meanwhile, some of those were important. It does not even meet the international standards. Ghana standards boards or no more concern. And by quality, and it has to do with safety and all that. Yeah. And when we pick such products, we can easily grow it. Rice and now can we got to a point we're getting to almost 60% of local production. And can gradually grow and benchmark values near the buy near the demand a call from. But it is something we can do. We can grow enough rice in this country. The conditions are there. And now we have a lot of rice mills sitting idling in processing because we are not growing enough rice, because we are not creating enough demand. And these are things we can do. Of course, we can say every product be 100% capacity. Sure. But we have to go product by product. Okay. That should be the strategy. And if you do that, then we target, say, these are the products we are looking at. These are companies producing those products. These are other potential companies that can come in. What are the interventions? And then me here, Badwam raise capacity no. Yes, we raise team producing supplier now, and they can do it. And when they say we can do it, does not mean say you be produce at a high price. Yintimi they be high consumers say cotton abording bebre.
But that be at competitive price. Be more members because production in Ghana is expensive. And it be a local production near Mabono was run. Now, coming on board with this 50% cut, I buy one shabi or the amamu to ensure some production cost ever buffer. Send a bay a bit to me a match with a 50% the ama importers nana.
Okay, say Adom say it's a very good question. And indeed it's true that production cost in Ghana is high. Because if you are going to borrow from a banker, well, you send a bank interest rate. And then say, Grandpa, you see the need to appreciate the grade iOS. Because Treasury bill cry, a ton is saying 25% in the other. Into no bank loan now, you can imagine the banks are not even lending much. So that's a problem area. The other problem, electricity cost is high in Ghana. And we have a lot of call centers my production expensive. Okay. That is true. But at the same time, si ekase ebeye a support local manufacturing e kwan bebre ho a ebetim de aye.
Okay.
Sectors reliefs. We can look at taxes as a measure to support local industries. We can also look at value chain arrangements. And the manner you produce locally, to say raw materials na grow hano. You concentrate a lot more on it. And you see the problem I war in agricultural processing is our supply base is weak. And it's weak because we rely so much on peasant farming.
Okay.
We need to have commercial agriculture that is producing in large volumes and supplying consistently, regularly, and persistently to the manufacturing sector. So yes, there, if the supply base is reliable, what it means is you are getting the goods in volumes. And then when you produce in large volumes, you enjoy economies of scale, so the cost will come down.
Okay. When
you produce in small quantities, your fixed cost is spread over a smaller unit.
Yeah.
And to be who say now cost maybe are not high. And it's part of the reason why your cost of production is high. No, it's not just because of the factors of production. No. It's also because of the volumes.
Oh, okay.
And to me, expanding volumes now, because the raw material base is also done in volumes. Because the raw material supply and also buy cheaper kakrama.
Sure.
The way cheaper, now so you're in volumes. Your cost of your fixed cost is spread. Most of you be competitive.
Okay.
And you don't even need government intervention to cut down prices. But what you need is intervention to make sure that all the value chains are working. And you do the volumes and you'll be competitive.
You should be the poultry industry. Omo feed omo krefra brochiri eneba. Bro nye tom koko 170 Ghana cedis. 150, 100, 80, 70. Sena ye cut it down import of ye kano force koko by 50%. Then a chance for the poultry industry bet me meet that demand. Ya ne bo bet me abafom ama timamuni. Ya ko timi koko store ekoto bia 20 Ghana, 30 Ghana. Onso bet me nyebi awi ofie.
Ne tie ne say you cast 50%. Yeah, your concept now is you don't do these things overnight.
Okay.
Untimi sorry now all of a sudden. Or say the next month I'm cutting down imports by 50%.
Okay.
We have a bit more critical problem, kakra, because you have not prepared the local industries very well to meet the demand. And to say untimi produce volumes now here immediately.
Yeah.
Ubengu se na fe ama demand and gaps aba.
Okay.
Gaps in by my price cost row. Demand and supply and its determinants of prices. In Jessa and Nafi, Timamufona su complain is mo yam produce locally. At the end, your console in Yanasa and a Kakrabi Yanas and the price no through so much. No more complaining.
Okay.
In Jessa, you have to have a plan. The plan should be say, at the end, the map pottery in the cost room. The map pottery, your Jumani, a feed. Feed, a broya, a brony, and so gumne and manema mix ya near their feed a memoano. Now, brony, you grow it. Okay, in Tiakas target 50%. You start from the base. Where are the farmers to plant the maize?
Okay.
Discussions ben and do more year. And what ben ye de worm? Is it fertilizer? Is it land size? Is it agronomics? Kakra binum crab beko ebeye irrigation na yet all year round supply of the maize.
Okay.
To yes sir, what solve a major problem? That's the feed problem. Unya solve untiminya poultry without feed. Poultry ni na le dodo na gina feed no so. U feed mu ana no munyi akese na fe utimi ton. To yes sir, feed cost no beba form. Once you reduce the cost of feed, the entrepreneurs are very entrepreneurial. They are smart guys. They will find a way to keep the business going and reduce cost of production significantly. You a good call. I don't think banker say feed 50%. In January, they say 50%. Okay. It's probably targeting end of year. And in that case, right from January, you starting to share a coin a befaso. I be make sure the feedstock no be cost. Ye maize, ye sorghum, ye nyane keka hu na edi feed money nyina no. Ya arrange omu nyina. Okay. What interventions? Is it financial intervention they need? Is it making sure that they have bigger size of land? Whatever it is. Yeah, solve it. And that solve it na feed in a bar. And one there within months you can grow them.
Yeah, 3 months.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, before the announcement, 2023 budget, government ni mudi enshie mu bi more timelines bi amode ama to meet this 50% cut.
Em say okay we kai a edumra na cedi no depreciate pa no.
Yeah.
His Excellency the President met us. Umushi Jumakobe, Umushi AGI4. Nekushia, no, or the two and seven increase local production.
Okay.
They are there, Cassia or the 2 years. So, I mean, Cassia, Badwam Mpensenpensemu. The following week, when you see a Minister for Finance, and in any further discussions. And since then, we worked on a list of products. Phyllis said these products, no, a bit to me, a producer. And you know, there have been some discussions.
Okay.
But it's an ongoing discussion. It hasn't ended.
Okay.
There's a lot more that has to be done. Okay. You know, because the discussion is not enough. It's also moving to action and making sure, say, plans number any ebe. And here discussions be brave. Na mechanical say your cost be and sana plans no at me take effect properly.
80 years more timelines be more because the 50% is supposed to be by close of the year 2023. Now yet me achieve it. So that's a buying any studying who that's a month for any studying 1 year share say sabet me can every one. When the council come here to say achievable. Only seven here and number 1, 2, 3 be or akwemo. Eti mukumu enimia no for the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. The ensure that we go akwem to make sure say at least ye no krana ye 45% e krana there. E betimi akoso e kremu sa.
O za say na de say ya didi ho koma. Okay. Na de aka ne say enema bi wo ho a to say uhwe poultry farmers ne say ya as a group no mbehia. Sa nema no ebi ni ebi asa na make say feed no. Okay. Na so poultry farmer no mo anso na ye feed no. Yeah. Until you have to go beyond them. Until omo na say na omo kasa. Na ye show omo so omo needs. Na make sure say we meet their needs. Na edumi bia sometimes no even feed no class o person importing the interim. Okay, o person importing the interim grandpa. You can do it in a way you import in large volumes. Na ma cost na ba form. So cost na ba form a ebebu obi akakra ekosimra o de na we grow no ebe ready. Indeed, all kinds of arrangements can be done. Okay. And those discussions, as I say a course here and sana ya conclude. Okay.
In the late 1950s, 1980s, na open manufacturing companies are rural areas na be hone pa. And ye hone say biem. Ni nyina ebe kurumade.
Well, they are all part of the economics of things. Population also abedi krakese numpa. Okay. Na obia produce to feed a population or okay. Customers. And where do you get most of your customers from? They told me raw materials now they produce no first part no. Now you get the raw materials mostly from our regions, our local areas. Yeah. And you know say okoseti up say match factory. Na say uhia timber. Na say locate match factory closer to the source of raw material. You break the bulk. You break the raw materials no. But trying the pieces no why. Nti no say na possible. But and then you know raw material based nankasa no because we didn't grow our agriculture to feed industry no. And raw material based near weak. Into a lot of the materials near imported. So imported there, it means the raw material is coming to the port instead of from the village. Rural areas. And you think about here, so yeah, one district, one factory. No, it was a very good concept. So one district, one factory. No, when I locate the factory in the rural area, that rural area, that community, no, should be able to fit that factory with the raw materials. So that's the whole essence of it. And if you have any factory, you must have outgrowers. If in the factory, no, and when I see it me into any side there. I think, say, if you look at the one district, one factory, it's more in the regions now. Yeah. Of course, there are still a lot in Accra, because, as I said, the raw material base for those industries, they are still imported. The main imported raw materials, no, I be clear what about port. No, my raw materials no in bulk. Edi akwa krase semi-process it. Let me process it. We are masandi abankran beton. Ube no. Now the economics of it, no, it doesn't work. One district, one factory, small. Okay. Former President Kufuor started a district industrialization program. What share our approach to this district factories here, PCACs here? Are we getting it right? Because when you're working, the materials no are not produced in bulk. For the factories no it also sakwa krakakra e di fram no ne ebeso so se me okra bi ne be kwakọ we ne me kran kwa be do so ache ne me nya from the village ne dia then me factory no e dey free
village wo nam de abakrom preko se na be ye ba ya metimi na me the FDM industry. Do you think we are getting it right? Because looking at from district industrialization program, yeah, we do one district, one factory. This is the seat here, Rainbow, and still we are talking about importation here. Don't you think that there's something actually wrong with Equia Faso developing a policy way?
Oh, I think the policy principle is right. The fact say a free districts no are good.
Okay.
And now districts no so the area no what is it targeting? It's targeting agro processing factories.
Okay.
And it means we have to use the local materials now. And the concept is still right. Except say there's a lot more we have to do to make it work and work better. What we have to do is to make sure say feeding no American ebeye juma yi. And no cost up factory na o cost no one making sure say farmers no ebe produce products na amount no na we dey processing no wo ho. Secondly, the right agronomics to produce the right quality here.
Okay.
Thirdly, they are producing the volumes that you require. And fourthly, not just the volume but the reliability and consistency. And say seasonal ayipe na season no do good weather then do produce bebre.
Yeah.
Na for 4 months now to ho na factory ni nyajuma 6 months now to yo because the season is off. And no nye ejuma papa. They say it irrigation is very, very important. And to me, district level irrigation, and now say specific farms, no why any big now irrigation but not just all year round you are producing some of these materials to feed the factory.
Okay.
Because sometimes I know we underestimate things. You who say kutubi guba kwan is akutubi brain ne gu kwan ho a say ne akanisa. But those akustu ya suno to say udam Confirm machine be within 2 days, 1 day, a bit processing in
yeah.
So you need volumes, and those volumes, and yet the farmers near and kitten. That's not proper farming. And the feed which is fine. Minister of Agriculture, you say main objective is food security.
Yeah.
But we have to go beyond food security. We have to go beyond food security to feed industry. Now, to feed industry, you need commercial agriculture, which is producing certain volumes in quantities that are reliable. And to be concept up factory now, on the side me machine see her around me me farms are the size acreage ni say.
Okay.
Acreage no ebe produce this tonnage of a particular material.
Okay.
Now but every year, maybe production capacity it means I have enough to feed it. Those calculations no more here. Now ko jina ho say me pe agro farmers. No akọ any dey kitu abi nso antop house ya fi nso anto na I mean ye pualugu tomato factory.
Yeah.
Even when we did the renovation near Dinyana, still we could only produce for a few months because we don't have the irrigation system. It produces tomatoes in large volumes consistently every year. A feed factory. We have a shea butter factory in the north.
Yeah.
They can only produce for maximum 4 months. The rest of the year is ideal because the raw material base is not good. And near one district one factory, very good without the feed.
Do we go back to the drawing board near Sanche, the concept of these district factories to ensure say you were enough raw materials as any put up factory nana?
Two things. You can create an off-taker. Now I encourage Nipa to grow.
Okay.
So there's nothing wrong with what we have done.
Okay.
Say be some of the districts it be a raw material kakra wo ho. E be kwa now import to be kan into a creative factory. There's nothing wrong. What you need to do immediately is say once you have the factory, there is an investment. You can't let that investment go waste.
Sure.
So quickly work on the farming side as well. So either way is fine, because some of the materials, they are short. They are more or less within a short period. No matter if you grow something like maize, it's a couple of months.
Yeah.
And to case we grow maize now, we are a factory. Factory setup could take about 2 years. It's not that simple.
Okay.
And to case we grow in sans and factory now. And also no our problem because farmer no so onozu penisika oko grow na say that year wanya off the capa na price ne fall no and recover next year on grow into those must be planned and work simultaneously.
Okay.
So if you are putting up a factory and then it will take about 2 years or 1.5 years to put out the factory, then you start growing the materials. By the time you finish, the materials are ready to feed it. But bear in mind, say when you na
yeah.
Aban promote, aban encourage. bua say ebeye, but it's individual investors and industrialists who are setting up this.
So that's where the danger is. Say like now, okay, if say mekoswa kra raw materials ni be the from no ne e dey be support ni emenya from ekuranas enkronkuman mudia. Then a time will come as a businessman me to be international calc say mekoswa boka because I want to say meet government demand, but I'll be forced to move out from the district. E be reach that adwempo na aban wo say yema factory mra district wo na enkreti enwuma na omani baby a entre no na afekwa ko wechi ankwankwa yesa na nyina sa be ye enkran kumase.
You are that's why can I know correct. And until now we don't have to work in silos. That's why it becomes a government program. Government program means it does not mean the government never established a factory.
Okay.
But government program means we are looking at all these factors and bringing them together.
Sure. And
making sure say the synergies are working. The off-the-car arrangement is made. The supply arrangement is made. Until there's somebody who promote that arrangement. You know. If I'm an individual investor, I'm a concentrating on factory. Maybe I'm a banker say, okay, maybe I'm one of farmers. Farmers, they couldn't want to producing feed in say, I'm land size in the crazy. It's maybe I'm say, meet me, farmers need be so land size in the big.
Okay.
Farmers here irrigation system. It costs a lot of money. Sure. Banks in farm, say agriculture at the risk. And can we have our agricultural development bank? And the asset that setting up say farmers.
Yeah.
Ni emphasis ka bin shim, se mum ko boa. Na mum produce na mum sika no. Na through government no omatimi anya say sika na omde ye no. Ndomunya nya pa. Then there's transporters.
Okay.
Transporters, no, so no makasa say, and no crampo there. Once you have a business for them, there will be transporters that will come in to do the business.
Okay.
And to know were easier to arrange. Some are more difficult. But if you have an arranger, in this sense, government, those are not all these are connected. Once they are connected, you are in business. But if you operate in silos as an individual investor, I will concentrate on factories. No, you can't go and be doing ad-grower schemes. It's not that easy. You can't go and be planting the farms yourself. And that's what some people are trying to do, which is not easy. So some have a concept, say, before I finish my factory, me myself, about 50% of my feedstock there, except me meet me a year. So it becomes reliable.
For sustenance.
For sustenance. There have also been occasions, some of the investors, I know some of my industry members, growers, no more muska.
Okay.
So mum planting a manuame. A bedroom baby, no. Na price na kosra am say o kra o ye entom akra na factory ni atom obi na ensem bebre na mom no utimi nya commercial farming no nim say o ye reliable off taker for him.
Sure.
Na bia there's an arrangement for even some investment from your end near there, then the agreement e wo ho bibia ye properly estimated. You say we ye commercial farming, you can estimate the quantities even from the very beginning.
Yeah.
To make I say by the end of the year, I must have this volume of this tonnage of products from you. Until I never out me investigate. Until no, and those arrangements say yema and the man ekoye.
Industries here won in Ghana. Ghana for the door said in a womb. I'm only for the door saying womb.
It's always a big question that comes up. In Ukraine, most of the Ghanaian small enterprises, SMEs, the relatively bigger ones, no. I had sikana a woman in Tino. I am only for the pa. Na and the crime so on say when it comes to industrial development, I am not a honor who are you be brave because a capital and you set up a whole GIPC, for example.
Yeah.
So they should go around and look for investors, foreign investors.
Yeah.
And the whole world will be a canvas for foreign investors.
Sure.
And you know, the more you get into your country, the better it is for you. Because develop it, produce na ebi wa. Na no Ghanaians no so na yesen employ. Nti no de a na edrumi bi much as we wish more Ghanaians ebetimi aye bigger industries.
Okay.
Ebetimi merge, ebetimi na bigger capital. Ni aye no Ukraine big companies, and as a big manufacturing, most of them are owned by foreigners.
But it will share one of the cardinal point for putting up in manufacturing industries in Ghana. want to stabilize your currency. If say any foreigners take over our manufacturing sector, then they tell us that a concession to stabilize the currency. No, be defeated because Nipa no we are very patriotic scandal donors are the country.
And yet completely true.
Okay.
Because on investi waha na se utimiye no bigger they can or employ unipa.
Sure.
Inti eboa my employment creation no kosro.
Yeah.
Ye tosumienu investment na obeye no. Sometimes our local banks are even small. We don't have that kind of money. Inti we don't give that kind of loans to our local indigenous Ghanaians. Inti omo no munya access to loans na omo de aba. And only foreign direct investment.
Yeah.
Inti no FDI no timinya bia eboa kwan bebre so. They toss me answer. So produce in large volumes, not a compatible to me export it.
Yeah.
Or exporting a generative foreign currency. What they repatriate is their profits, not the investment. So as they continue to expand, the business stays here, and there's no way my business because I'm a foreigner. And end of the year, I made a turnover of 100 million. So I'm repatriating all the 100 million. It cannot be.
Because say 80.
No, you cannot repatriate 80. Do you make profit of 80 million?
In case so making $100 million just in a year can.
No, I'm talking of turnover.
Okay.
Turnover new sales.
Yeah.
If you make sales of 100 million through exporter, Sikano, you need to use some to buy raw materials.
Yeah.
If the raw materials are sourced locally, you are paying a lot of it locally. Sure. If you have to employ people, you are paying a lot of it. You are paying taxes. You are paying so many. It is a profit, of 10%. If your profit is say 10 or 15%. And no need be a repatriate.
Okay, but certainly a year your raw materials for Ghana ever form. So now because more do na ekra the free amonone and the eba. So certainly be out more raw material side no. Scabebre and sheda elko. But and you worry from my as for my say special oba baby to say Accra. Oko Osu East Legon and Miami Outdoor. You find a lot of foreigners occupying these juicy places. And I hear Pia Ghana for Kasua, Buddha Machuo, okay, so Accra, the baby Moasa Sibia, I'm on the 4A taking over Yemay, and you.
I know, dear, every country want to grow its indigenous businesses, want to grow its indigenous people. Okay. Because, dear, even example, I remember say, or invest or Hano export here, or Scano Dodo and Obesan, they are back to mine. It be a profit in a very repatriate. But so a gun near, so profit in the crown, Obesan stay here. Okay. In the end, the more of your indigenous people you get to do business and to do big ticket business, the better. Sure. I know there's no doubt about it. Now, and also, no, not quite. I see it to me a indigenous business people. Okay. And no, and money be fear buying her, and the money be sufficient business people now so. Say, scanning ya baba ho ban na ba say say a merge ya kika ya ho bom na yetimi raise bigger capital na yetimi aye say banks no munim sa de ne ye no de nesi enim ye na ensem bebre un say businesses no it grows from the families the family business until be a papa and a business no starting or the man and even though you are managing it unua bi ne adekeka ho the dream be now so me no be koye measure
joint a year
una unuanom no entiase na ye problem na mom no it's all because we are very informal. Okay, it's another problem we have. We are very informal in our approach to business. Okay, those who are formal, everything is written, everything is structured. Okay, and it's also be bamwa. There's percentage share calculation. Sure. There's a lawyer be a watchery. Documented. Properly documented. And even if it's a family business, it's possible to do mergers and acquisitions and joint ventures. Okay. When you do that, you can grow the business. Nothing, you know, you see here financial institutions so also meeting more indigenous no pa because most of the big companies name home and no music from pocket too. It's arrangement. Oh, okay. They go to the international market. They go to so many places and arrange big time funds. Okay. I don't need to mean any baby. And you don't see it mean if your bank see to me boy or honum. Ninya big time financial arrangement need to me the skakesi beshemo. You bet me aye. Seth Twum
Akwaboah, Chief Executive Officer of the Association of Ghana Industries. And come on I de. You be start to answer actually. That's all G Rebecca. But that's it. You could official pa. That's it. Medeni akwasinsi na sekese koma production team Dominic Siaboa Waba Kofi Ampedo Priscilla Dache Hine sound like camera floor managers MC Awunyere da munyina maso china yebesa ishia background